aren't part of us and you aren't part of them.
Yes.
So you're stuck in between.
So many of us are in between.
You're not accepted there, you're not accepted here.
Smobby!
Dream that got me on.
Starzy.
Oh, white family music. I'm going back to where I belong. You're the reason why I'm singing this song. Boy, I did you no wrong, but you broke my heart.
In love.
Good. Hi guys, we're Team Apple. I'm Yaba and we are Ghana bound. Today I'm with someone very special and I really look up to you, even though I haven't even gotten to know you yet. So I'm going to get her to introduce herself.
I'm Gloria Buckman Youngson. I am an event planner, so we plan and produce weddings and corporate events and other social events. And recently we've also been focused very much on training other event professionals who are looking to launch, position and grow their creative businesses here in Ghana. So in a summary, that's it. But obviously we all know women, we wear so many hats. So if you want me to go through, like, seriously all of the hats that I wear.
Yes, I do. Because today is really about getting to know you. And the events are such a big part, but I think after we've talked, there's so many other parts that I'd like to just get to know.
Oh yeah, so a big part of me as well that I have recently introduced on Instagram is that I love to cook. Okay, so I have recently opened an Instagram page where I share a lot of recipes.
Okay.
And this is not something that I do professionally at all. This is just something that, for me, it's almost therapeutic. So people know me for that also. So it's the weddings and events, it's a training for event professionals, it's the cooking, it's being a wife, a mother, and all of these things.
Wow. Well, like it's just something that you do. It's a lot of things that you do. Amazing.
Oh, yeah.
And after talking, we spoke about your move from Ghana to, where did you move to?
So we originally moved from Ghana to England and then eventually to Scotland.
Okay.
And then I sort of did transit through Kenya and back to Ghana.
Wow. So what was the time frame for all of this? When did you first leave Ghana?
So I think the very first time I moved from Ghana to London, and this was 2001 maybe. It's a long time ago. 2001 I think. Okay. But then we came back for, well, I keep saying we, but I don't know. So it's a really funny story. Let me just go back.
Okay, go for it.
So what happened is I met my now husband in school at the Ghana Institute of Journalism.
Okay.
Right? And I had no idea that he was planning to study at the London School of Public Relations as well. So we met there again. I'm like, wait, hold on, stalker?
So you actually met them outside?
Yes.
Wow.
So we were in the same class again in LSPR. So that's why I'm saying
what are the chances?
I know.
You were a we, but really you were an I at that point. But wow, okay.
Yes. So came back to Ghana, did internships, like it's almost compulsory. Have to do like sort of like a national service thing.
Yeah.
Yes, so came back, did that for about a year and then went back to England. And then eventually, so I applied to the University of Stirling. So GIJ, I did public relations. He did PR as well. We were in the same class.
Oh, that's crazy.
Tell me about it. Then we did LSPR, same class. Then I applied to the University of Stirling. At this point, we knew each other very well.
I'm sure.
Almost like literally courting at this point. So applied to the University of Stirling. He applied to Edinburgh and Stirling.
Okay.
So he got both.
Okay.
But then clearly, woman power.
Stirling.
It was Stirling.
The other one didn't stand a chance
At all.
At all.
So we both studied again. at the University of Stirling, did our master's degrees in public relations.
Wow.
And then we just decided to stay there for a little longer because I got a great opportunity at Morgan Stanley when I graduated in 2005. And then he also got a position, I think at the time, at Prudential, if I remember correctly. So I was like, okay, Morgan Stanley is like one of the largest financial institutions in the world. And at the time, it was such a big deal for me, especially, because this is like one of the companies that we read about in books, you know, when we were younger.
Yeah.
And so it was like such a surreal moment for me. I'm not letting this opportunity go. So I started work at Morgan Stanley. And then, you know, as you do, when you finish university, your parents are looking at you like, okay, so
what's next?
What is next? When is this being, you know? So 2005, I remember so clearly, we were looking for a wedding planner here in Ghana, and we literally could not find one, not a single one. The ones that we came across were companies who were, you know, could help with decor, you know, to spruce up the space, but not a single wedding or event planner who was catering to, you know, individuals who wanted to have parties or anything like that, nothing. And so came back, which my mom was amazing. She literally did like all of the legwork and running around and booking the vendors
Because
and things
there were
like that.
no event planners.
Literally, no event planners in Ghana.
Wow.
So came back, got married. We got married in 2006 January. And then it was kind of like a light bulb moment that went off. A part of the story that I missed is when we were studying at the University of Stirling, I was working at the Hilton.
Right.
So I was working at the Hilton as a hostess. And so, you know, in Ghana we call it an usher. And so I would stand at the door, and when people were coming in, you know, I would welcome them in and say, oh, hello, you're welcome. Can I lead you to your seat? And things like that. But I was always so fascinated by how the hotel ballroom would be transformed literally overnight.
Yeah.
Corporate events, weddings, it always looks so spectacular.
Wow.
You know, at the time, I wasn't really introduced to the world of events, so this was so fascinating for me. So it was sort of like a connecting the dots moment again when we were on our honeymoon in Spain. We're like, wait, why don't we start our own event planning business, right?
In Ghana.
You know, because why is nobody doing this? I am sure that there are people like me, you know, brides-to-be, who are looking to come back to Ghana and get married. Because if you are from a Ghanaian home and your parents are in Ghana, you know you can't get married without coming back.
I see.
You can't. It's not
not
allowed.
get away with it.
Nope, they won't allow it. It's not.
And there are so many people out there who are
Precisely.
planning weddings or would like to get married here.
Precisely. There clearly was a demand, because there are a lot of Ghanaians in London, in New York, in, you know, Dubai, wherever, who would be looking to come back home to get married just like myself.
Yeah.
And so we're like, wait, let's do this. So it was our business, PlanIt Ghana, was born out of that need, the lack of event professionals who were catering to individuals, you know, and SMEs, you know, who wanted to throw events. And so we started talking about it. We started the dreaming and all of that. We launched our website. We were sort of like underground helping friends with, you know, parties and things like that. But we didn't officially launch the business until December 2009, and this is actually what happened. So I was on work training in Nairobi, Kenya.
Yeah.
And if you know anything about Nairobi, Kenya, it's very much like Accra, Ghana. Like the temperature, you know, the sort of mood, everything, very, very
Is it
similar.
very similar?
Very
I've
similar.
never been to Kenya. In fact, many places in Africa.
We were in Kigali, if I remember correctly. It was lovely. And so from there, it was winter time in Scotland.
Okay.
So
Hey.
do you see?
It's like a fridge.
Freezer.
Literally, it's a freezer. In fact, I don't know about Scotland, but UK, we used to put our food outside sometimes, our drinks.
Seriously.
Freezer, it would freeze it.
Scotland can get so cold, like you literally can't even feel your fingers. Your keys are in your pocket, you're holding it, but you can't feel it. That's how bad it could get. So at that time it was winter. So I said, you know what, let's go to Ghana on holiday for a little bit and we'll be back. And so from Nairobi, came to Accra, Ghana, and then it was just like I just chanced upon this advert in the Daily Graphic. They were looking for a corporate affairs director, and I remember showing it to my brother. My brother was like, I was 20 something at this point, maybe 27, 8, I don't remember. So anyway, I showed the ad to my brother. He's like, Ghana here, they don't give these positions to 20-something-year-olds. They want some elderly person to come and occupy this position. So I will try anyway. At this point, I had 4 years of marketing communications experience, coming from Morgan Stanley. I was like, let me try, I'll try anyway, who knows? And so I put in the application and I was called in for the interview.
Wow, that in itself is
like,
a boost.
Okay, one step closer. And so went in for the interview, and true to what my brother said, elderly people. Seriously, like I'm sure I was the youngest in the room. And, people would come in their cars, and a couple of people had briefcases. I was like, what's going on here? And I looked so out of place. Because so I had blonde hair.
Okay.
I wear contacts. So I think at the time was green or blue or something.
So extra stood out.
I looked so out of place. I went in a rickety taxi because at the time, obviously, we weren't even living here. So I didn't even have a car or anything here. And so went in for the interview. And at the end of the interview, they were like, when can you start? So inside of me, I was like, wait.
You got the position.
Wait, hold on, what? I was so excited. I mean, I was young. I saw this as like a fantastic career opportunity, and it was progression for me, to move the next step as director of corporate affairs was a big deal.
Big.
So then I said, well, I haven't technically quit.
You were on holiday in Ghana.
Do you know what I mean? So I have to quit. My husband was still in Scotland working his full-time job. Like, what's going on here? And so I found out that the position came with a house, and it came with a full air-conditioned car.
Wow.
It's like, this is it. We've been talking about coming back to Ghana since God knows how long. It was, at this point, about 3 years in. This is the sign we've been waiting for. Let's just move back. It's okay.
The sign was clear. Light bulb on.
I called my husband on the phone. I was like, I got the job, so that's it. So at this point, so a part of the story I missed was at this point, my son was 6 months.
Okay.
And so I was in Ghana with my son.
Yeah.
So I was like, we are not coming back. So, pack your stuff and join us.
Join us.
And he thought it was a joke. He was like, wait, are you serious? Are you really serious right now? And so eventually he realized that, okay, I am telling you, up until today, I never went back to the house. I didn't even go back to pack my clothes.
What?
I didn't go back. I mean, of course, we've been on holidays since then, but I never went back to the house.
That was it.
He sold the car, he sold the furniture,
Oh
you know?
my gosh.
Yeah, woman power.
Woman power. This guy, he doesn't even know.
No. So I convinced him. So he didn't quite quit in the beginning because he was still a little skeptic, So he asked for, I think, his leave or something like that, came back to Ghana, and then the realization hit. This is it. This is literally it. So he came back, registered the business, did all of the paperwork, started the groundwork, and all of that whilst I was working my corporate job.
Right. Then he started the
Yep, the PlanIt Ghana,
Wow.
Registering all of the paperwork really that we needed to be legit. And so I was at this job now for almost 2 years, actually. And it got to a point where I realized that, nah, this is not it. This is not it for me.
What made you realize that?
I just wasn't happy, and it's something that I always say, it's, if you have that entrepreneurial spirit inside of you, nothing can cage it.
Nothing.
No matter how well you were doing, you still feel unfulfilled. You still feel as if there's something missing, And of course, coming from Scotland with my heavy Scottish accent, I felt so out of place. Some of the people couldn't even understand. Like, there was a security guy, I remember so well. I would say hello to him when I was coming in and out of the office, and we would have a little chit chat about his family and that. And I later realized that, and he would always be smiling and laughing. And I later found out from one of my colleagues that the security man said to him, Madam, we are
Do you know that's really interesting because you speak Tree.
I do, but I think I have to be honest. When I lived somewhere for quite a while, I subconsciously picked up the accent. So my accent was weird. It was like Australian, Scottish, English, kind of like twang.
They were like, I don't even know where to place that.
It was nowhere near what I am speaking right now. Like
Wow.
it was heavy. When I listen to myself in interviews then, I'm like, wait,
Who is that? So how did that make you feel? Because so many of us have come here, and those of us who don't even speak Tree, but even with heavy accents, and you said you felt out of place.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
interesting you say that because I'm now
Oh, yeah.
entering into that feeling.
yeah.
So how did you overcome that?
It was almost as if, you aren't part of us and you aren't part of them.
Yes.
So you're stuck in between.
So many of us are in between.
You're not accepted there, you're not accepted here. It's like, okay. And, I had, of course, picked up the culture also. In Ghana, little things like when you meet somebody and you have to talk about work, you have to ask them, how are you? How's your family? Are you well? In the UK, and nobody got time.
No one got time for that. Hi, so let's go. I had to learn that here. I had to learn it. So now it's how are you?
I didn't even realize that it was rude. So here, culturally, it's rude. Because it's almost as if you don't care about the person.
Yes.
But I mean, we are, so little things.
And even
like
if
that.
you don't care, you still ask because you otherwise it's rude.
Precisely.
Wow.
So little things like that was like a friction point. And then obviously, so when I started the job, my immediate boss was a CEO.
Wow.
Yes, and then his son joined, and then he became my immediate boss.
Okay.
And so suddenly there was a bit of bureaucracy when I needed something to be approved, and it was almost like, honestly, it felt like sibling rivalry.
Okay.
That's how it felt like.
Okay.
And I was just like, no. Like, I didn't feel progression. Do you see what I mean? Like, I felt initially when I joined, I felt like, okay, so what next from here? And so one day I said to my husband, I'm done, Charlie. I'm going to hand in my resignation today. He's like, Because I had been talking about, I'm unhappy, this is going on, and that. I was like, I'm done. And so, I'm a Capricorn, and goats, we are very, very stubborn. We are very, very stubborn. When we set our minds to something, we are going to do it.
Amazing.
We're going to do what we said we would do.
You will do it.
And so I went in, he was like, wait, before I handed in my resignation, he was like, wait, you do realize we live in their house, right? It's like, yeah, there's that part. You do realize it's a car we're using currently? Like, yeah, there's that part too. So like literally, the laptop I was using, the mobile phone, the car, everything.
Company.
Went and turned it in, handed in my resignation. I said to my boss, I'm done here.
Powerful. Powerful.
And he asked, my immediate boss was like, okay, so did you get a better position somewhere else? It's like, no, we're starting our own business. This thing is going to win. It has to win. There's no plan B. And so we had about 3 months left on the lease. They were so kind and generous and said, you can stay there until the lease is out.
Wonderful.
3 months, no salary, no
That's
capital,
true.
no backup plan. And I came home and I thought this was such a stupid thing to do. What did I just do? Like I was, reality suddenly hits. Like, wait.
It's like your alter ego quit the job and then your real self was like, what did you do? Don't worry about it, we'll be fine. No, but what did you do? The car, the house?
You've seen that meme where they're staring at each other like,
That's
how I felt.
Yeah, I'm going to put that right there, that meme. Guys, I ended the video here because we ended up talking for over an hour. She's got so much to say, which is very, very important for those of you who are looking to move to Ghana. And The next topic is going to cover specifically about developing a business in Ghana and some top tips for those of you who want to build a business too. Also, please remember to follow Gloria's YouTube, Gloria Buckman. Thanks again for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you in the next one. Bye.